Okay, every year the Met Gala claims to celebrate fashion, but many people are beginning to ask, has it become less about creativity or more about shock value, elitism, and attention? Many viewers online argue that the event has become more about shock value than fashion, and celebrities are trying to go viral, and elegant outfits are becoming increasingly bizarre, but to me, they always have. So this debate exploded online throughout the night. It was about rich people celebrating wealth. Here's the thing. Critics also attack the optics of it. Tickets being at $100,000 a piece, why be concerned about how much the ticket prices are? Because the ticket prices are always going to be high anyway. That's their way of excluding the riffraff. They only want the creme de la creme of what they think is high society. Now, I've been a fan of The Rock for years, but this right here, his work ethic, his charisma, his success story, I respect all that. But when I saw him wearing a dress at the Met Gala, I couldn't help but ask, why does Hollywood keep pushing this image on the male celebrities? Why? And more importantly, does this align with biblical masculinity? Not for him, but for me as a man of God. I say this so I don't get caught up in this trap of femininity.
Great. Well, what I shared with Tom Brown's team is that, that first they sent the illustrations over, and hey, is DJ going to be cool with this pleated skirt? And I was like, well, look, in our culture, Polynesian culture, we rock lava lavas, we rock skirts, the most masculine men, but not that I'm one of them. Wear lava lavas and skirts. I feel great. Well, what I shared with Tom Brown's team is that, that first they sent the illustrations over, and hey, is DJ going to be cool with this pleated skirt? And I was like, well, look, in our culture, Polynesian culture, we rock lava lavas, we rock skirts, the most masculine men, but not that I'm one of them, but the most masculine men wear lava lavas and skirts.
Now, before anybody twists my words, let me say this clearly. I'm a fan of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, that is, for some of you. I respect his discipline. I respect his success. I remember when he first came up in the WWE. And I respect how he built himself from wrestling into one of the biggest entertainers in the world. So this isn't a hate video. This is a cultural discussion from a biblical perspective. Simple as that. Now, again, I'm not saying The Rock is weak. I'm not attacking the man personally. But symbolism matters. And clothing has always communicated identity, role, and culture, right? And the Bible speaks directly about distinction. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5 says, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment." Now, I already know people will say, well, that's the Old Testament. But the principle behind it was order, distinction, and avoiding confusion. And what we are seeing in modern culture is that confusion is being celebrated. Masculinity is blurred, femininity blurred, and identity blurred. And Hollywood doesn't just reflect culture, many times it sharpens or shapes culture, which is why people are beginning to ask, is this really fashion or is this conditioning? I say it's conditioning because year after year, the Met Gala becomes more extreme. Year after year, it's less elegant. Year after year, it's more shocking. Year after year, it's less about beauty. And year after year, it's more about symbolism. And in a world desperate for attention, controversy always becomes currency. Oh, and by the way, The Rock isn't the only one. There's been Harry Styles, Kid Cudi, Young Thug, Lil Nas X, or whatever. Magazine covers and fashion campaigns. And so again, I have to reiterate this. This isn't about hating The Rock. I still respect the man for his accomplishments, but as Christians, we can't pretend everything culture promotes automatically aligns with God's design. Because the Bible never taught confusion, and this has been about confusion. The Bible teaches distinction, it teaches order, and it teaches identity. And somewhere along the way, modern entertainment, it stopped asking, is this good? Now it asks, will this go viral? The danger is that if society keeps blurring every line, eventually people stop knowing where the line was to begin with. And church, that's why discernment matters now more than ever before. Because not everything celebrated by culture should be celebrated by Christians. So with that in mind, continue to renew your mind. Enough said.